A chainsaw roared suddenly, and Ari jumped. She realized it was too clear and too close. She carefully made her way to the master bedroom, and with each step, the chainsaw buzz grew louder. The sliding glass door leading to the backyard stood wide open, the sheer curtains fluttering in the slight breeze. Ari realized the noise was coming from a neighboring yard, and she wasn't going to be the victim of a maniac wielding a power tool. The air conditioner was losing the battle against the 105-degree heat, and the room was baking. Ari saw that someone had pried the door open with a crowbar, breaking the mechanism in half. She nearly shoved it closed to vent her anger, but stopped just as her fingers touched the handle. Damn! Now she had disturbed a crime scene. A wave of guilt swept over her momentarily, but as the real estate agent, she knew her fingerprints would be everywhere, so the damage was minimal. This was probably the killer's entrance. That realization propelled her back down the hall to the living room. Ari glanced at the front door, her escape route, if necessary. She vowed to remain for only another minute. Crouching over the man, she repressed the urge to fish his wallet out of his back pocket, but she wanted further clues to his identity. Her eyes settled on the floor, and a few small droplets of blood that trailed behind the bar 10 feet away. She swallowed hard and stood up. Walking so as not to disturb any of the blood, Ari peered around the bar. In a split second, she realized nothing was wrong, and everything was wrong. The shelves were clean, and the floor refinishers had actually been able to replace the old wooden planks, worn and water-damaged, probably from the liquids that would spill off the counter. The bar was untouched, but a bloody stain covered the freshly painted wall behind it. Perhaps this is where he died, Ari thought. He was standing behind the bar, and he fell back against the wall. She moved closer, allowing her eyes to adjust to the dark space behind the bar. At first she thought it was only a blood spatter, the sunlight not illuminating the niche at all. Then she realized it was a word, a name. Robert was crudely scrawled right above the baseboard. The color on the wall matched the color on the floor, and her mind flashed to the victim's blood-caked fingertips. A strange sound broke the silence. Ari couldn't tell if it came from inside or outside, but her curiosity instantly vanished. She bolted upright, smashing her head against the shelves that used to hold beer steins from around the world. She cursed fiercely as she scurried past the dead man and slammed the front door. Maybe that would scare the intruder away, if someone really was there. She sprinted to the SUV, looking left and right. Only after she'd locked herself inside the truck and pulled her revolver from the glove box did she feel safe. She must have been quite a sight. Cell phone in one hand, gun in the other. She whirled around, checking the back, but no one was there. Now seems like a good time to call the police. Ari made the necessary 911 call and then immediately punched in her buyer's number to cancel the showing. An answering machine picked up, and she knew they were probably on their way. Usually real estate wasn't this exciting, but there had been a few interesting moments, such as when she had caught a couple having sex in the hot tub of one of her vacant listings. She cracked a smile at the memory of their horrified expressions. What really stood out in her mind was the beautiful woman emerging from the steam, her breasts glistening. She took a deep breath, her heart still galloping and her hand shaking. She returned the gun to the glove compartment, chastising herself for not retrieving it before she searched the house. Her head started to pound, and she rubbed her temples. She'd forgotten what it was like to experience an adrenaline rush. The SUV suddenly felt like a sauna. Even dogs weren't supposed to be kept in enclosed vehicles during Phoenix summers. Rummaging through the center console, Ari found a clip in the compartment and pulled her long black hair into a makeshift bun, noting one reason why most lesbians have short haircuts. She checked once more through all the windows before she opened the door and slid out, throwing her jacket on the seat as an offering to the June sun. She desperately craved a cold beer in a swimming pool, preferably in the company of a beautiful woman. If she couldn't have that,